Connective Tissue by Angelo, Danny, Ariel, and Audrey.
A tissue in the human body is a group of cells that have similar structure and function. There are 4 types of tissues: epithelial tissues, muscle tissues, nervous tissues, and the kind we'll be talking about today, connective tissues. Connective tissue is the most diverse type of tissue in the human body. Because of this, different types of connective tissue can serve various functions. Connective tissues support, bind, or separate other tissues or organs. They can also help with insulation and general movement of the body. Connective tissues all develop from the mesenchyme, a fluid and loose embryonic tissue. Mesenchymal cells are malleable and can be moved around quite easily. This distinguishes them from other neatly organized types of tissues. Connective tissues can either be vascular or avascular. Vascular tissues, such as the skin, have many blood vessels to allow blood flow to other parts of the body. Avascular tissues, such as cartilage, lack blood vessels, restricting this blood flow. Connective tissues are mostly composed of non-living material. This differs from other types of tissue cells, which are usually made of living cells that are closely packed together. These things make connective tissue extremely unique.
There are 2 types of connective tissue. Loose connective tissue include aureolar connective tissue that cushion around organs, loose arrangement of cells and fibers. Adipose connective tissue is a storehouse for nutrients, packed with cells and blood vessels. Reticular connective tissue is internal supporting framework of some organs, delicate network of fibers and cells. This second type of connective tissue is dense connective tissue, which are tendons and ligaments, regular arranged bundles, packed with fibers running same way for strength in one direction. Dense irregular connective tissue includes skin, organ capsules, irregular arranged bundles packed with fibers for strength in all directions. There are 4 basic tissue types in the human body. Special connective tissues include cartilage, bone, and blood. Cartilage is a flexible but strong supportive connective tissue. Unlike bone and all the other connective tissue types, cartilage is avascular, lacking blood vessels. The functions of cartilage include providing strength with flexibility. Bone is a connective tissue that has a large amount of 2 different types of matrix material. The organic matrix is materially similar to other connective tissues, including some amount of collagen and elastic fibers. The functions of the bone are to provide framework and strength for the body, to allow movement, store calcium, and contain blood-forming cells. Blood is considered a connective tissue because it has a matrix. The living cell types are red blood cells. The fluid portion of whole blood, its matrix, is commonly called plasma. Blood has 2 functions: transport oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nutrients around the body and to have an immune response.
There are many different types of connective tissue, but all types are still mainly made up of the same 3 key components. These components are cells, fibers, and intercellular substance, also known as ground substance. The amount of each element each type of connective tissue contains is what results in their varying appearances and functions. The most common cells are fibroblasts, which have oval-shaped nuclei and produce fibers and some ground substance. Mast cells are also oval-shaped and contain metachromatic granules. Plasma cells are egg-shaped and contain basophilic cytoplasm. There are also macrophages, large fat cells called adipocytes, and white blood cells called leukocytes. The most common fibers are collagen, elastic, and reticular. Collagen fibers have a wavy appearance and provide connective tissues with their strength. Elastic fibers tend to look like lines and are responsible for the tissue's elasticity. Reticular fibers are thin collagen fibers and are also referred to as argyrophilic fibers. The intercellular substance, or ground substance, contains and surrounds both the cells and the fibers of the tissue. It is a formless, gel-like substance and often varies in consistency and density. It sometimes has a consistency similar to gelatin and sometimes is much more rigid depending on the type of connective tissue it is located in. As the proportions of these three elements vary, so does the function and appearance of the tissue. For example, dense regular connective tissue has densely packed collagen fibers and few cells, resulting in its strong nature. Connective tissues made up of mostly cells with fewer fibers will not be as strong, such as adipose connective tissue.
Connective tissues can be found all throughout the body. As previously mentioned, there are three main types of connective tissues, which include the loose, dense connective, and specialized tissues. Loose connective tissues are the main type of tissues in vertebrates, and it can be broken down further into three subcategories: areolar, adipose, and reticular. Areolar and adipose connective tissue can be found under the epithelial tissue of the body. Areolar are found near blood vessels, nerves, ducts, and other structures of the leg. Adipose can be found under the skin to store fat and insulate the body, around the kidneys, eyeballs, breasts, and abdomen. Finally, the reticular are found in organs such as the spleen or lymph nodes, found in the neck, armpit, and groin area. In comparison to the loose connective tissue, the dense connective tissue is very thick and strong. It can be broken down into the regular, where fibers run in the same direction, and irregular, where fibers run in different directions. The regular can be found in tendons and ligaments throughout the body, and the irregular can be found in the white parts of the eyeballs and dermis. Specialized tissues include the bones, cartilage, and blood. Cartilage can be broken down into the hyaline, fibrocartilage, and elastic cartilage subcategories. Hyaline connects the ribs to the sternum, is within the larynx, holds the trachea open, and reduces friction between joints. Elastic can be found outside the ear, near the epiglottis. Fibrocartilage can be found in the menisci of the knee and in vertebral discs. There are two main types of bones that can be identified as either compact or spongy. The 5 types of compact bones, long, short, flat, irregular, and sesamoid, are used for support. For example, the fibula and femur. Spongy bones can be found at the ends of long bones or in the pelvis, ribs, skull, and vertebrae.